Hello. So recently I've been building a lot of things, and by building I mean I just sort of play around with the latest AI tools. Started using Claude Code. It's really good, and but it just got me thinking. There's nothing really that sort of makes you question your ability or your role, like actually making AI work. Like you'll have it do 70% or 80% or even more. And then, you kind of wonder what's my role, or is this even me making things? And what I've been thinking about is basically there's this concept of um, anybody who makes or anybody who creates is sort of a vessel, like some higher, not even it's like something beyond you and me and our worldly feeble bodies. It's like passed down through us, and then it becomes like our duty to transmute it and create something only that we can create. Like it's true that almost anybody could probably just prompt stuff with ChatGPT, and I do have some coding background before. So it's not like I don't know, and I do write some of the stuff, but not a ton. But there's a reason why I'm doing a lot with it. Like I've been making a lot of contributions, projects in the past 3 months, and it's like that's the thing. It's like what I realize is because I get so scared, I'm like, oh, anybody can do what I'm doing. Anybody can copy and do the exact same thing. But then it's like people, it just kind of gets to this notion of where really anybody in the world is has a potential to do anything, and that's why I kind of get scared of people's potential because I feel like if they just knew what I knew, or they just stopped going through the same cycles, they could just do the same things as me and then surpass me. And but that's where the vessel thing comes in, because it's not really what we have the potential to do, because a lot of people romanticize human potential. Um, I mean, it is powerful, and I see that a lot more now, but it's really about what you actually do. And my thing is I'll do anything to sort of not, sort of bridge that gap, because I feel like the world doesn't really care how you sort of actualize or what you do. It only cares about the results. So, you know, using AI to bootstrap everything you do, but if you can provide real things that weren't possible before, like, nobody is actually going to care at the end of the day except people who look at you and they just didn't really want to switch what they were doing, and they're just stuck in an old paradigm. But yeah, so I do basically whatever I need to, in order to push things out, in order to not burn out, I guess. Not a lot of times it is kind of sustainable. That's the most important thing. I feel like it's if you're just very clear on what you want in the end goal, and you don't try and compare to these people who always LARP online, and they're saying oh, I grind like 16 hours a day, and if you aren't, grinding 16 hours a day for like months, then what are you doing? You're just failing. You don't want it. We kind of, at least I, this is probably the most amount of learning I've done in such a short time, and it's like completely just what I need. I learned on a just in time basis, which is like this idea that you only learn what you need to like unblock or pass the blocks blocking you from what you want to achieve or what you want to build. So like if I'm building something and I don't know how to connect two things, like I read up on that and I'll learn that. But if AI can do like 99% of the rest, it's kind of not the best, not the highest return of my energy to learn that other stuff. So I just think because there's so much to learn, and that's what I'm realizing. It's like the more you learn, the more layers you realize there are. It's impossible. It's impossible to learn it all, and you can't be stuck. Or I used to be stuck because school always makes you learn everything before you take the test or learn before, and you have to feel ready before you jump in. But in real life, that's not how it is. In real life, you have to talk to people before you're ready, and you might get screwed over, but you don't know, and you can't really project yourself or project into the future because you don't really know what's going to happen. And even if you do know with a good likelihood, it's like you know you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So yeah, but it is really dystopian though. I mean, like I saw some videos talking about how AI content like YouTube is going to start flooding and there's going to be more people watching like these AI videos than like normal people. And it's like kind of interesting how people really like watch anything. Like that's not even like a diss, but I mean, like I'll watch a little bit of AI content if it comes up on like a reel or a short or something. But it's like it's kind of what does it say if we like spend more time watching something than the person even like thought of when they made it. Like they didn't even they probably like thought of like a stupid idea, prompted it and had this whole like pipe and then just like were completely hands off with it for like 5 minutes and it just ran in the background and they pressed the submit button and then that's what we're eating. We're just eating their their slop. And that's what it is. It's like a human centipede of ideas. We're just ingesting the shit and then we're like shitting out the ingested shit and then it's like so nobody's getting any nutrients at this point. And it's like we kind of got to go back to the basics because like I don't know, my brain rot era has never actually helped me in any way except just made me realize like how addictive it is. Like what does it say that we need to like is anything better than just being alone with ourselves? Like am I really going to drop an hour of my day watching this and then it was more. I mean, I had more than that, more hours than that. And it's like, you don't remember anything after. It's like, what does it say when you can't remember 2 seconds, like, after your reel? You can't even remember what it's about. These people probably don't even know what it's about. They probably just have this, like, engine that keeps running and running. It just takes our eyeballs because we're like digital cattle. Yeah. But, yeah. I was, I read, like, Brave New World. I think it was by Aldous Huxley. I forget his name, but I kind of remembered it recently. I watched it in or I read it in high school for school. It's basically this one guy, this savage, who's like lived in the wilderness and he had his tribe or something, and then the rest of the world, like the modern world, the civilized world, are a bunch of people who are on like these drugs all the time, and then they also just have like sex all the time, and like there's basically no like free will at all. It got me. It was like, you know, on paper it sounds like a utopia because oh, you don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to stress. You don't have to struggle. But if we don't struggle, we don't grow. And it's like it I don't know because so the savage guy he was like brought in by the modern society, and I think they were trying to like modernize him, and so they gave him like the drugs, and I think this one girl was like trying to raise him up, and then he was like, what the hell? He was like, you need God because she was trying to come on him too quick, and then everybody else was like all crazy. He basically just went insane because everybody around him was just numbing, and they were just kind of zombies. And like, what do you do when everything in the whole society you're brought into hinges on, being dead men walking? And then, he killed himself. But um, I think, it's very similar to what we have today. We're numbing with brain rot. We got Tinder and all that, just making people go around hook up culture this, hook up culture that. You know, I mean, like nobody's perfect, but I don't like living like that. At least I haven't gone fully off the deep end with that, but it's even just doesn't. And there's like a whole epidemic too, with like loneliness and connections. Yeah, yeah, but I don't know. So, yeah, thank you for listening.